Hello. Come on in, guys. Let me get my iPad here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Let me grab a stylus. Maybe. Should show you these. I'll show you these. We'll see if we can get anybody come in. If you catch me live, you'll see the red live right up there. If you don't, you're on the replay. And if you'd hashtag replay, I'd appreciate it. If you could also go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe, help me out. I need to get to 1,000 people before I could go live over there. So if Facebook ever, you know, you don't know if there's how they're going to be, if it's going to be sketchy or not. So I would like to have a second, kind of have a backup there. So that's what I want to do there. I don't really need this here. I'll set it down. So when you pop on, say hello, please. And I'll show you some, these are some Easter. Hey, Holly. These are some little Easter things that I did. It has the little, it's 3 little panels. And they could either lean on something, or they could be in an easel, or they could lean up against something, or an easel, I guess. An easel that you can set it in, or an easel that you can put on the back of it to lean it back is what I mean. But aren't those cute? There's that set. I'll probably take them to my craft show and just sell them separately. Then there's this set with a bunny and a carrot and a tulip. There's also a set of frames that interlock with each other so that you can, they hook together so that you can, like, you know, put them just like that, like a shutter type thing. There's also one that has the cross, Easter lilies, and a church, and I am working on that one. Then there's the 2 little Easter bunnies and the daisy in between. Aren't they cute, Holly? They're so cute. They were so fast to paint too. They weren't that bad at all. You know, none of it's really that bad. You start out and you just, you know, you paint through your pieces, and then, you know, you paint everything this brown, you paint everything this green, you paint everything this white. It goes fast. Hey, Lori. Aren't those cute? Yeah. So it's the 2 bunnies and the daisy. And they come separate like this, or they come where the 3 frames hook together. I haven't done the 3 frames hooked together. I think I'm going to do the church with the Easter lily and the cross. And then there's this one with the 3, the bunny and the carrot and the tulip. They're kind of primitive looking a little bit. And then there's the canning jar and the lamb and another canning jar. So these are kits that I sell for you, and you can paint them. Very simple, you guys. When I say, thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, the bunnies are so cute. So cute. But anyway, that was my project today and yesterday. And then I went ahead and inked this on the back of a bleached out flannel shirt. It says positive vibes only, or positive vibes, and it's the Peanuts gang walking. And I'm going to ink that, but I'm going to brush it on. So it's going to take some time. So that one I will do probably by myself, because it will take time. So I snagged this bunny at our thrift store, and it had some flowers painted across the neck. I painted them out. And this is, geesh, it's brand new. I've never opened it. This is Crackle from Dixie Belle. Holy moly. There we go. I have never used it, so it's never been opened. Well, you know what? It has been opened. I've never used it, but I must have opened it because it's got that. It had a lid on it or something, styrofoam. So I'm going to stir this up because that's what I've heard you need to do with this. I'm going to give it a good stir, and then I'm going to paint it all over this. Yeah, isn't that sure going to be cute? And then today I ordered mouse pads, and we're going to do, well, ink on mouse pads with some Charlie Brown stuff. But we could do anything on those. So those will be kind of fun. So I stirred that up. And I'm going to take a, well, I wanted a fat brush, but I don't see one here. So let me grab one. Thought I'm only 3 steps away, so it's just a wide brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that off of there, because why not? And then I'll just start putting it on my piece. So you just want to make sure you get everything covered. I've never used this brand before. I've always used, you guys, we did Crackle in ceramics, so I'm not new to Crackle. But it's fun. It's fun because you get to see it happen. Right, and some people use Mod Podge. I've not done that either. And some people use Elmer's glue. I think my PayPal account, I'll look, Lori, but I'm pretty sure my PayPal account's just Sarah Weddingfeld. Lori mailed me a check 10 years ago, and I still haven't gotten it, so now she wants to try and, she's going to have to get into the 2025 and get herself a Venmo account or get herself a PayPal account or something. She's going to have to use her husband's or her son's. It's always kind of scary to do that. I have a friend that was selling a coat on Facebook, and she got a person that said she wanted to buy it, but that she needed her to have a Venmo account. So I believe that that person sent her a link. Hi, Chris. Sent her a link to the Venmo thing. And she didn't realize, she has an iPhone. She didn't realize it's an app. And so they ended up screwing her out of a pretty fair amount of money. It was terrible. I felt terrible for her because she knew she had done it, and she was sad because she does not have that kind of money to lose, and I felt so bad. And the thing was, is she had asked me, she said, I don't know if I should start my own Venmo or if I should just use somebody else's. And I should have offered her to use mine, and I've always felt kind of bad about that. But okay, so I'm just kind of looking to see that I have it all covered. And I think it's probably good enough. Put the lid back on this goop. You know what? Here's the scam, is they tell, and I get scammed, I get this scam all the time. Had she said something to me about it, I would have said, it's a scam, but she didn't. She thought she was handling it okay herself. They tell you they want to buy your product, and then, where's my water? And then, but then they tell you that they can only pay you a certain way. And then their next thing is they say, well, I'm a business account and you're not, so I need you to send me X amount of dollars. I will send it back to you. Where's my stinking water? I will send it back to you and then pay you, Well, they're not going to do that. This is not my water I'm looking for, but it's water, so it'll work. If that dries on that brush, I'm pretty sure that it will be there forever. I still can't believe you haven't gotten mail in 10 days. Oh yeah, I get the toll one too. I've gotten that on my phone so many times. I'm like, no, I'm not. So you want to make sure this is really dry before you put your other coat over the top of it. And the thing of it is, it's going to look wet even when it's not. But it'll take a few minutes. So I feel like I got it on there pretty thick. But yeah, I get them on my phone that says fast track toll or something like that. I'm like, and here's the deal. I was getting that after I had gone to St. Louis, and I did go through a toll. And the toll, they had shut the toll booths down, so you couldn't pay. So then they took a picture, and my husband said that he got something in the mail that I owed for a toll. And I told him, I said, well, there was nowhere that, usually you get off and you go through the toll booth. You get a ticket and then you pay your ticket when you get off of it. But they didn't have that. But you're right, that is one of the scams. Yeah, that Charlie Brown shirt's going to be cute. And I thought, these are just some flannels that I had bleached out a long time ago. This has some red and some blue in it and some black. So I can wear it kind of like a jacket. I do have a jean jacket too that I'd like to do it with. To go that loud, but I want it dry. I was going to do it before this, and then I thought, no, you have to do stuff and they can see you too. So. Yeah, I got one the other day because I had, what I put on for, what they'll do is I'll go back like through on my ceramic page, and they will say, is this item still for sale? And then I had one gal that wanted, well, it happened to me, I can't remember what she wanted to buy here just recently. And then she came back and said, Ma, are you going to send me the information or something? And I thought, oh, that's a scam. Usually they hound you like crazy. Another one is, my dad wanted to sell my mom's piano because he's over it, and he wanted to get rid of it. And so I put it on Facebook, and I had someone who sent me a message, and they're like, I'll take the piano. I said, well, don't you want to come and look at it? And they're like, no, I'll just Venmo you the money. Give me your email. Well, you don't have to give an email for a Venmo. And I'm like, no, and then he was like, I'll Venmo you the money. And I kept saying, well, who's going to pick, and I was like, well, who's going to pick it up? Well, my brother will pick it up. I go, well, where do you live? Well, we just live outside of town. I go, are you in Hastings? No. And then it would be, but we're just a little bit outside of town or something. And I'm like, it sounded, first of all, why would someone spend, it was $1,000. Why would you spend $1,000 on something that I think I'm going to try and just do it, even though I don't think it's quite dry. But I'm going to clean that brush out. So anyway, he went back and forth, and then he tells me, he goes, well, give me your email. I'll send you the money. Well, I think I eventually gave him my email. But I'm thinking to myself, and then he tells me he's paid me. I go, no, you haven't. I said, it's not in my Venmo account, and I would have heard the cha-ching on my phone had you have paid me. And he goes, go check your email. I'm sure I paid you. And I said, I'm not going to go check any email. You've not paid me. And then he was like, I'm going to get the police involved in this or something like that. I'm going to call the police. And I said, you go right ahead and call the police. And I said, I'll call the police too and let them know what you did. And then I blocked him. And I was like, you're a creep. Like, what is the matter with you? I'm trying to decide what color I want to do. I don't think I want white. But I don't know if I have enough of a... Let me see what I got here. I don't think I have. Maybe I do. See, I don't know if I have enough snow cloud gray, which is almost, it's just a really light. I'll add a little water to it to assist it a little bit. Yeah, so I felt bad because my dad felt bad because I told him about it, you know, and he was like, how did you know it was a scam? And I'm like, because I'm jaded. I'm jaded. I'm not kidding you. I feel like everybody's trying to scam me online. Okay, let's see if we have enough paint to do this. So here's the deal with the crackle, you guys. You got about one time to take your brush down, and that's it. If you keep going through it, you'll end up peeling off your crackle. So you just have to go, and it needs some right there. So if I was to go on here again, I would peel that crackle right off, and I can see it's already starting to crackle. Man, I'm about to the end of that baby. And it's a crackling. Crack-a-lackin'. So, dump that because I don't think there's anything left in there. I felt like that one might be just a little bit too dark. So my dad felt terrible for me. He goes, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. And I was like, it doesn't bother me a bit. That guy didn't scare me at all. So here's the deal. I want to chalk over this, so I'm sketchy about that. Because I don't know if I'll peel it off or what's going to happen. So we're going to find out together. 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 We had a big meltdown today. Boy, oh boy. We really melted. Man, I got some big old cracks in this thing. So my trouble was I started to wax the bottom of this thinking I was going to chalk it first before we started. And then I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. So I really wiped it off. So I'm hoping. Still looks wet in there. It's the crackle that's wet. It's going to have to be dry. It makes you sick that everybody is trying to scam you. And you really have to be on your game on Facebook or online. Just like these idiots that want to send you want to be your friend. They've been looking at your profile and they think it's awesome and they want to be your friend. Or their daughter saw her deceased mother in your profile picture. I'm like, really, dude? Like, that's stupid. You guys, this is really drying that fast. Maybe it is dry. Maybe it's just shiny. Oh man, Lori. Well, and then they hit you guys in your comments. I'm all day long getting rid of those idiots. I'm not kidding you. There's some days when it's relentless. And so they come into my Facebook pages on my lives or my good mornings, and they maybe it is dry. Here's the. See the crackle? Isn't that cool? So it just gives you a good texture on there. I think I'm gonna try and, let me just dry it a little bit longer. Yeah, they come in and they hit you guys, and then I go delete those. So sometimes you might see a comment, or you might see that there was a comment, but you can't get it. It's one of those goofballs. So annoying. And the thing is, it isn't that person. It isn't the person that you see the profile picture of, because that person's profile has been stolen. Someone has stole it and they're using it. And that's so crappy. You know what, you guys? I think it might be dry. So we're going to try and wax it. Ooh, let's hit the thing on it. I kind of have a feeling it's going to peel up when I chalk on it. Just having that feeling. Having that feeling. So this, and then I stuck it down on my... This is what I want to do, is this little floral across the bottom, and then I want to put Somebody Loves You up here, and then we want to put a bow on it. So let's get... Yeah, I don't like them bugging you girls either. It's like, stay away from my people, you creeps. So I'm going to wax this, see what happens. Well, it's not wiping off. We're ahead of the game with that. It is kind of wiping off right there. That must not have been dry. Ooh, I don't like that. Dang it. Hope a flower lands there. I have to make sure a flower lands there. This is funny, a little circle right there. I've never used Dixie Belle before, so this is a new one for me. But I thought this was kind of cute. This bunny. It's not sticky. We're going to make sure a flower is on that spot. That's what we're going to do. We'll put one there if we have to. Hi, Diane. I sent Diane a picture today of Sasquatch earrings. I thought those were so cute. Okay. So I want to chalk this in black and then go back in and put color in the flowers and then re-chalk it. Question. I do let mine dry. I do. I don't do it when it's really wet. Not that I haven't done it when it's been a little bit damp, but usually I let it dry. And Mod Podge dries really fast. And I'd really almost be tempted to put 2 coats on than I would be. So I want these flowers to come from the bottom up. So that's way up there. That's probably not going to get a flower on it. We'll see. And I'm going to do black velvet, and then we'll have to clean the transfer because we will go back over it later. I have seen where they just left this black and white. But I thought it'd be pretty to put some color on the flowers. It is kind of peeling up, you guys. But I think it'll be all right. Ooh, really peeled up there. So I want it to go all the way across that foot. Probably messing it up there, but whatever. Dang. Well, I'm going to paint that in there. So I'm going to set this down here and I'm going to clean this transfer real quick. It looks cute though. Then this can be drying while we're doing our thing. I'll get some. So I would normally take this into my kitchen, to my sink, and I would take my board eraser and clean it off, but because we're out here and I got no water, I'm going to wipe it off with an antibacterial wipe. Don't use butt wipes. They have grease or something on them, that like baby wipes. And we need to get that paint off of there, hopefully. Hopefully my board eraser will get that off. Maybe not. Usually my board eraser's wet, so. Because I put it in the sink just like my just like you do a Mr. Clean eraser. This one just is much more denser and helps clean these things off. That came off pretty good, really. Just had to use some of my fingernail. And if your transfers stain black, don't worry about that. Stains do not affect anything. And when you have high pigment color, you're going to stain your transfers. That's all there is to that. So usually I kind of hold mine up just to make sure that my screens are all clean, because you want to make sure that your screens are clean. Nothing in there, otherwise they won't, your paste won't go through. Okay. We'll set this off to the side and let it dry. You can take a paper towel and quickly wipe down it. I'm just going to set that right there for now. So when I'm looking for it, help me out, guys. Because I forget things 5 seconds after they come. Hi, Carly. How are you? And I don't Mod Podge back over the top of mine either, Diane. Some people do. I don't. You sure can. I don't know why you couldn't or why you wouldn't, but I just never have. So we're going to bring this baby back. How it got black on it right there, I have no idea. Apparently I've got something on my hands. I'll just wipe that off. So what I want to do is I want to take some, I was thinking I would do chalk paste and just paint in these flowers a little bit, maybe even some of the greens, and then we'll go back and paste over that, the black, so that my lines are all back in there good again. So I'm just going to take some, these are some new brushes, so they're stiff as a board. And then we'll make a bow for the, so I'm not going to worry so much about the lines, because the lines will go back when I go to chalk over it again. So I'm just going to use the eucalyptus on my greens. I just love eucalyptus. You could use acrylic paint. It would make no difference. Use whatever you want. You guys, we're already to Wednesday or Thursday. Do you guys have plans for the weekend? I don't think we have a thing going on this weekend. I have a craft show next weekend. At the high school in Hastings. So if you're a local, get your butt over there. Check us out. It's for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, actually. I'm good, Carly. I survived the blizzard of 2025. My daughter went 16 hours without power. Can you imagine? She did go down to her mother-in-law's. They had a generator. They all live in the same mile in the country. They went down and, let's see. I want some pretty colors. What colors should I do? Should we do a couture coral on sunflower? We'll do a coral. What else? Should grab some Pace of the Month. I always forget those and then I don't use them, you guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's do, let's do the pucker for yellow. That's a, and what? Dream Car is a really pretty pink. We'll do that. I stuck my Pastes of the Month separate. You can water this down or not. The new creamy is a little easier to work with. We even had interstate closed this morning, so that it was crazy town here. My brother-in-law was driving home from Vegas. I wonder how far he got. So just turn your piece around, whatever's easiest for you to be able to get to your colors. I'm going to start over here because I'm right-handed, and I'm just going to move from left to right so I don't lay my arm in wet paint. And there's one little flower. Maybe we'll do this one that color too. Then I probably will lay my hand in it. This one I don't really see very well because I peeled off, so I'm just gonna try to wing it. We'll hope that we get it right. Today's the first day of spring. Do you guys plant flowers and all the things? Hi, Tina. We have a generator too, but I don't think our generator is big enough to do our house. I think that it could do our camper, but I don't think it could do our house. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I don't think so. How about let's do Sincerely Yours. It's a dark purple. And my daughter's in-laws, they had a generator, so that's why they went down to their house. Suppose they went down to plug their phones in and that type of thing. I'm going to do this little bud over here in the dark purple. And that sort of looks like a tiger lily, but I could do shimmer flamingo, or the couture coral might be fine too. Flowers are my bag, outside flowers. I don't really care. I mean, I have some inside plants, but I don't really, it's not my jam. My jam is my outside plants. And I enjoy planting them and putting my little yard art around them. And although my angel that I had out front, she bit the dust yesterday in the wind. The wind was like 60 to 70 miles an hour. I've never seen it like that. I don't remember seeing it like that. And holy cow, did it blow. So it blew her over, busted her wing off and busted her hand off. But I'm going to try and glue it back. I saved it. Like, I am not going to let that go. You still don't have power. John said that. He said, Fairfield still does not have power. And yeah, that's what he said. Because I said, didn't they serve a dinner down at the fire hall or something? What are you doing without power, girlie? How are you surviving? Do you have a generator? So my town has a generator. It used to have 2 generators. So our town, that yellow isn't working so good. It's a shimmery one. It's not covering so good. I feel like I want bumblebee, but I don't see a bumblebee. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. So when we lose power, we always, you lose power and you might lose it for, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. And then all of a sudden, boom, everything had come back on and we were running on the generator. Well, a couple of years ago, our generator, one of them, crapped out and they have never bought another one. And they should have, because it's been twice now for sure that we have gone, because it'll happen in the summertime, when everybody starts turning on their air conditioners and you start to, that always is a time, I think, when you have a loss of power. That started crackling underneath that. I'm going to go back over that again. It crackled underneath that dream car. Probably because that's where I peeled it up. So anyway, we could only run half our town at a time. So they could do the east side or the west side. We live on the east side. So they would do, and the nursing home is right over here, right by my house. So they decided that they would do the west side for an hour and the east side for 2 hours. And then people were complaining about that. So last night when I said I wasn't going to do my live, it really was basically because I didn't know if they were going to shut me off. So what I thought would be because it was shut off, and then I thought, okay, an hour later it should turn on, and it didn't. Or you'd think, okay, it's been on for an hour or 2 hours, now it should shut off, and it didn't. So I couldn't trust what they were doing, so I didn't. It came on about, I think it was before, might have been right before 8, or maybe right before 8 it came back on, but I didn't know if that was the end, and it was the end. Dry. That one's still a little wet. So I think I want to distress around the outside edge of this. So I'm going to, I never know if I should use the wax. I should try that wax, I guess. I wonder how that, let me try that. People use the wax. I don't know if this is the kind of wax they use, or I don't know. I think it is. So I can tell that this was a cutout, and I did trace it so I can cut one out when I get my saws out of the basement and into the garage. Because that's what's going to happen. I have a scroll saw and a bandsaw, and I want to cut some things out. We'll just kind of distress him around a little bit too. I found I like distressed things. Not so much primitive, but I like distressed. And I like primitive, but I don't like really, really, really primitive. That's not my choice. So let me see if I can. So that is that one. I'm using Minwax. I don't even know if that's what they use, but it worked. I see other crafters using a wax, and I always wonder. They use Bear Wax or something, the Bear brand, but it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay. So I'm just going to start with this flower and go over. I'm going to start up here. And work my way over. And I can see I'm a little bit off, but I don't care. I feel like it'll be okay. That turned out pretty darn good. There's a little spot right there where it peeled up, but I can touch that up. I'm good with that. All right. I feel like I want to clean this off before I do it on this other side. So let's put this down here for a second real quick. And let's just get this a little bit cleaned off. Oop, I slid myself up. Yeah, that's just dark wax, it says. Special dark. And my God, Tina, I think I've had it for all the 6 years that I've been chalking and not even close to using it all. It's craziness. And Tina will also be at that craft show at the end of the month in Hastings. And you guys, she makes the most beautiful ornaments you've ever seen in your life. And they aren't just, when I say ornaments, you know, you kind of just take yourself to Christmas. They could be, but they don't have to be. They're amazing. I should buy another one from her. I bought a pine cone from her. She quilts. They're like quilted or something. What are they, Tina? She folds all the little fabric and they're just like, they are the prettiest thing you've ever seen. I've never seen anything like them. And I love them. She will also be at that craft show. So I think this is all right to go again. I fuzz it on my pant leg. Probably has 5,000 pounds of dog hair, because that's my life, dog hair. Okay. So I'm going to take this wooden bunny. We're going to set him up here and set this back over. And I'm not going to like jam it down there bad, you know. I mean, I want it to stick, but it doesn't. I don't have to be like nutty about it. I'll go back over that one because that would go over the top of that other flower. And you guys, if you would like to be a Perks member of Chalk Couture, you get 30% off of everything. I'll put the link in my description. And it is, you pay $20 a month and you get immediately $20 to spend. Ooh, I like that. And you get 30% off everything. So all this cute Charlie Brown stuff. And you guys, Tiffany Thiessen, she was on 90210, and she was on Baywatch, and she was on Saved by the Bell. She is collaborating with Chalk Couture, and she's got a whole line out, and it just came out yesterday, and it is as cute as can be. She's got some really cute things. I went ahead and ordered some different things. So there's where we are on our flowers on our bunny. Isn't that cute? So I could, because there's a spot here, not gonna lie, I'll show you. See that spot right there? There's an empty spot right there. And I may go back and put a flower right there. I could even like put one of these vine things to go up or something, but let's put a bow on it. Let's put a bow on it. He was a thrift store find, Tina. I'm going to pull a piece of this fabric out of here. And I forgot I had this basket, you guys. Here's lace that I've coffee stained. So I want some of that in there. I don't even know what this is. It's like, what is this? I think I used it for, now that I think about it, I used it as underneath, something underneath. Then I cut up bandanas, thinking I might use that sometime. And this is just old flour sacks that I tore up and coffee stained. It smells amazing. It's got strings everywhere, of course. So I want some of that. And then I have some more, because that's me, you know. And I have this bag of torn fabric that I have hanging here in a Hobby Lobby bag. And I've got some lavender, and I've got some yellow. I keep thinking I want to tea stain that too, but I haven't. And there's some green and pink. So we'll just make us a ratty bow out of those things and glue it on there. Knocked off my lace, one of my laces. I didn't even know if this lace would accept the tea stain, but it did, or the coffee stain. So I'm going to grab my Bodabra. Just set that here. Let me grab a piece of twine to tie it with, which is right here. I feel like I have a whole roll of this somewhere that I can't, that's not packaged, that's somewhere here. But where? Someday I'm going to get organized, you guys. You'll all be shocked, won't you? So let's see. Let's start by putting some of this down below. I looked on Amazon today to order some sisal, and but I ended up ordering some other stuff instead. It's on my wish list. I'm just going to go back and forth and back and forth. We're going to do a pretty good sized bow. Then maybe we don't even want this color in there. Well, it's kind of the eucalyptus color. Rickety, rackety. So I put 2 loops. Maybe we'll go with lavender then. We're just gonna put some color in here. Let me get those strings off of there first. Holy moly. So I showed some things that I painted, which I showed Tina the other day. Those bunnies and those little 3 sets of 3. Today I was busy. Today I actually didn't paint anything. I was busy cutting out some stuff. So tomorrow I need to paint. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the tails. I feel like even if they're long, what am I going to save? If I go 1 extra hoop or 1 less, I'll just put it all in and cut it as I see fit. How about that? It's like getting about 2. Let's put some lace in there just for the heck of it. We'll just put one loop of that. I kind of like the different texture in there. I do this stuff and then I forget I have it. Story of my life. Let's see. This looks like a shorter one. This is going to be a loop, 1 loop each. Maybe same for the green. Okay. There we go. Pull it up and tie it tight. I think our wind is supposed to blow about 40 miles an hour tomorrow, my husband said. That kind of stinks, but... And then you just need to fluff the bow. So I need to pull all the different colors out. I'm going to snip the twine. And you could make it so it was a messy bow, so no loops. That would be fine too. You know what I forgot to do? My somebody loves me. Some bunny. I'm like, where's my bunny? It's right here. Sorry, you guys, you're dealing with such a nut. So that big old bow is going to go right there. It doesn't need to be that long, though. Toss them to the ground. Sweep it up. Make myself more work. So that bow's going to go right there. That bow's going to be perfect. And somebody loves you. Can go right there. I'm going to cover up that bad spot, that bad boy. Let me take this. I'll just do it on my pant leg. Just want to make sure it's straight. So when it stands up, which it's not going to stand up, it'll lean. It's a leaner. straight, and I think that's pretty straight. So I thought about doing it in black, but then I think to myself, maybe I want to do it in Academia, which is kind of a really dark teal. Why not? Doesn't always have to be in black. Next week, I'm going to try to get myself out walking again. I haven't walked since I've had my open heart surgery. I need to get out walking. Did anybody watch the Grand Ole Opry last night? You guys, I'm not a country person at all. But the new country I do like. Like I like Garth, and I like Kelsey Ballerini, and I like Blake Shelton, Post Malone I'm a little sketch on, and Jelly Roll, he's a little different. But, you know, and I love Reba. But last night, they had the special on for the, and it was so cool. Trisha Yearwood's lost some weight. Holy mackerel. I think Garth gained what she lost. Pretty sure. Okay, Somebody Loves You. And now, we're going to put that old bow right there. Cover up that mess. Make sure my that turned out pretty dang cute. I think could even put greenery around it, but I don't even know if you need that since you have this down here. Sometimes I think it's overkill. So, let me see. I think that pink one might be it. Boy, that's a button. You know what? That might be okay too. Might just do that one. That's a serious button. That's serious business. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. One little spot there that trying to think of how I can fix that. One little spot. What do you think? It's right there. That's my spot. But didn't it turn out kind of cute? for being a thrift store find. Yeah, I like that. I think that turned out cute. So I did trace him. So, and I had to miss my haircut appointment Wednesday. Oh, and she's not going to get me till next Wednesday. So this hair will be getting better. But anyway, yeah, there's my little chalk project. And this is a transfer that's out right now. Somebody Loves You, and it comes with these flowers. And it also has one other, this little thing is with it too. Like maybe I should take that little flower and put it right there. I could do that, but I'll do that on my own. Thanks for the floaties, you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with me. It's always weird when I don't get to hang out with you. So have a great rest of your day, you guys. And I will see you next time. I think it turned out pretty dang cute too. I sure hope you get your power back, Tina. Holy moly. I can't even imagine. I'm kind of a baby when it comes to stuff like that. What's so funny is you walk into the bathroom and you flick on the light and then you're like, oh my gosh, you dummy. There's no electricity. But it takes me a little bit to figure it out. And even then. So we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks so much. Love you all. Bye.